Okay, pardon my huffing and puffing. Hello, Raven. But I am headed to the top of this hill. Bonnie, the camp host, told me how to find this ledge or peak or whatever this is called so that I can make it up here and give you guys a look around. Well, I made it to the top. That might not have looked like a very long climb, but for my thighs, or not thighs, my hips, and my lungs, it felt like it. Let me show you around, and then I'm going to tell you a few things about what I've experienced here at Death Valley National Park. This is the Texas Spring Campground at Furnace Creek, where I have been staying. You can see my campsite and Phoenix right there. Bandit didn't get to come with me because no dogs are allowed on trails in national parks, and this is no exception. And it goes on down and winds around back down to the campground with hookups. The campground is full, and that was the last space available. I don't recommend parking next to the restroom and the water station if you can keep from it. It was very crowded. People walked right through my camp, and that's okay. It's a national park and you have to expect that. But I mean, literally, they'd walk on right through my camp. Pet Bandit, which was great for him and me, but they there were no boundaries, there was no privacy, and people start getting up and cleaning up and using the water station very early in the morning, sometimes early as 5 or 5:30. So if that is not something that you think you could tolerate, then be sure to watch for those kind of things when you get a campsite especially at a crowded national park. But sometimes you don't have any option. It is still full today. The camp host and I, her name is Bonnie, and she is going to email me because in Montana, she and her husband offer their property as Boondockers Welcome Site, and I hope to be able to stay there this summer. So I hope to see them again. And she gave me a book about Furnace Creek, 50 years. Furnace Creek and the Texas... What is it? I just told y'all. The Texas Spring Campground was the first campground in Death Valley. Now, it will be closed as of April 15th. Okay, that was a bust. Here is the book that Bonnie gave me. It's 50 years ago at Furnace Creek Inn. And a lot of the Furnace Creek Inn was built by CCC, and I look forward to reading this book. But that was so sweet of her to drop this off, and I am on an adventure to try to find that point, that building up at the top of that hill, because Bonnie told, let me get my hat off. Bonnie told me that it is where Harvey House girls back in the day, you want to come up, Bob? Come on. Harvey House girls back in the day, they had to climb up there and serve the rich, the wives, their morning tea overlooking the valley. And so there are lots of trails going up there, but they are beyond my physical capability. I am determined to get in shape. But the people that I just talked to, the employees here at the inn, they were driving a golf cart. And I asked them, and they said, try one more road down here, and if that's not it, then I'll have to just give up. But this is such a beautiful place. And it's closing because Texas Spring Campground gets too hot. In fact, Bonnie was telling me that as camp host, they will be moving over to hookups starting April 1, and they will have to hike up here to manage this campground. The other campgrounds that will be open after April 15th are up in those mountains. And as you can see, there's still snow on them right now. And I'm looking at my notes because I want to make sure I get this right. There are 4 campsites up in those mountains. There's one at 2,100 feet that is tent only. There's one that allows rigs 25 feet and under, and it's at 4,100 feet. But then there are 2 beyond that at 7,400 and 8,200 feet, but it requires 4x4 to get there. So she said, you know, I told her I was going to hope to come back with my friend Joan, and she's like, no, you don't want to do that unless y'all are going to go way up in the mountains to the one that is 25 feet and under. But my friend Joan pulls a trailer, and that 25 feet includes your rig and your truck. So she wouldn't qualify to make it up there. So I guess this is my last trip this year to Death Valley National Park. But I hope to come back because, again, looking at my notes, they have 9 spectacular sites and viewpoints that I want to go see, and they have 16 hiking trails. And so I want to come back and do all of that. Today I'm going to take you to another scenic point and to one of the 9 beautiful viewpoints. And so let's go do that. I got to make my way back down this hill, and it is steep, you guys. This is one of the campgrounds of Furnace Creek, and it is actually part of Texas Spring as well. I shared with you in another video that there is a lower loop of tent campgrounds and an upper loop where I was staying, which was not hookups, it was dry camping. And I don't know if you can see her or not, but that's Bonnie down there at the kiosk in the bright lemon yellow vest. And that's the camp host, and she and her husband are up in the loop where I am. And I saw this morning on my morning walk with Bandit, I saw somebody getting a ticket because they're full, and so they tried to stay just on the side of the road, and that didn't go so well. But they were very nice to the ranger, and the lady even bowed to him when they got out of their car, and that always goes a long way in making peace and not getting ticketed. So Bonnie told me that later they just got a warning because they were so nice and compliant. So lesson learned, you guys. Okay, Bonnie told me to go past employee housing here at the infamous inn, and I could make my way up to that point. We'll see how this goes. Okay, that was a bust, so we'll go around this way. And I am assuming she means this employee housing. I see some people over here. I'm going to go ask them. Okay, at the end of this road, I found employee housing. Now I just got to figure out how to get up the hill. Okay, well, that was a bust. After you get past employee housing, you run into this, and it looks like there is a trail that goes up to it, all the way up there, but that is too steep of a grade for me. So I won't make the Harvey House tea room this year, but next year I'll know to trek the desert from the Texas Spring Campground, and I will leave like 6 in the morning and take lots of water. But we tried, you guys. I don't know how the Harvey House girls did it, because you know, back in the day they wore petticoats and everything else, and they had to go from the inn up that hill to that tea room. I'm just floored, but we tried. Okay, everybody, this is Richard, and he is an employee at the inn. You've been there 20-something years?
24 years.
24 years. And I asked him how I can get up to the tea house. I want to go see it so badly. And he says it'll be okay if I could just go around and just stay on the path up there. And he said that I could also go down that way, but I'm not going to. I'll come back around. So thank you, Richard.
All righty.
Shoot, you guys. I've only made it halfway up the first hill. And I just don't think I'm going to make it. It's a lot further than it looks like, even going this way. But now I know, and I'll try again next year. And Richard said if you go past that, like if I were to make it up there, and then I took the path down on the other side, it curls around and comes into the 3rd floor of the inn, which is how the Harvey House girls used to get there. But I don't have enough nerve to do that, and I don't have enough stamina to make it that far today. So we'll try again another time. And now, final answer. I'm done trying to get to the Harvey House tea room on top of that hill from the inn. I can't remember the name of it. Look what's at the bottom of this hill underneath the tea room, outdoor tea room. Check that out. It's an old mining entrance. I'm guessing that's what that is. Okay, you guys, so here's the deal. I was so intimidated to come do this trip by myself, and I don't know why. I hadn't done a national park by myself. I hadn't been here before. My vehicle, my RV, she's been running great, but I'm going to Death Valley out in the middle of nowhere. And then when I got there and it was full except for one space, and I picked the wrong space to start with, and yada 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 yada, I almost turned around and went back to my home base. And I'm so glad that I didn't, because I would have missed all of the beauty, and I would have missed feeling a little braver, a little stronger. And Bandit would have missed out on getting so much loving. He met so many wonderful people, and so did I. I just love seeing him flourish. And it was cloudy and rainy the whole time I was there, and so I didn't get to see the international dark sky again. I set my alarm for 2 o'clock or 2:30 or 3 a.m. every night and would wake up and go look, and it was always too cloudy, and that was the only nights I was there. This time I'll be back, and I was going to set my phone on top of the RV to get a time lapse for you guys, but it just didn't work out. So we didn't get to, I'm sorry about that bright spot on my face. It's from my reflecting windshield cover that's in the floorboard. But we'll get to see it another time, and we'll do it together. And right now I'm headed to Zabriskie Point, and that will close out my stay at Death Valley National Park. Well, as you can see, Zabriskie Point is completely packed. I spent so much time trying to find the Harvey House hilltop tea room that I missed my chance to get there early and get a good parking spot. So we will try that again next year as well. I hope that you have enjoyed my stay at Death Valley National Park. Thank you for being on this journey with me. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so and click all so that you get notified of when I put up new adventures and new videos. If you have any questions about Death Valley National Park, please leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. And in the meantime, everybody, we'll see you down the road. Stay safe, and Coco, keep on keeping on. Mwah. You ready to go to our next stop? Huh? Say bye, everybody. We'll see you next year.